Hi everyone, good evening. A very warm welcome to workshop second of Daily Parenting Sadhana. So some of you would have joined yesterday also, and some of you are new. So welcome all of you to this sadhana, and I am very thankful that you have taken out this time for your kids and yourself. So let's, discuss shortly and briefly about what we discussed yesterday. Yesterday we spoke about being present, so that kids feel heard and they start sharing things with us, and they don't stop sharing as they grow up. Right now, we are listening to the child, but we have our own agenda too. Right? We have so many things that we want that our kids should start listening to us. We have to tell them so many things about studies, about keeping their things back in place, eating the right kind of food, playing less mobile games, having a good friend circle. So many things that we want to tell them, and we want them to listen to us, right? But there are two parts to it, right? We speak and then they have to listen. So, what comes first? Speaking comes first, right? So, for them to listen to us, it's important that how we speak. When we speak in such a way that they listen to us, I think the onus is on us as parents to speak nicely. Like you would have seen the children, they are sometimes attached to one parent, or they like some teacher in the school, and some other teachers they just don't listen to. So what is it about them that makes difference? So we'll today share three big secrets which will make your child listen to you. So are you ready for those three secrets? Type ready in the chat box if you're ready to listen to those three secrets. So it's not really a secret, but it is something that we really forget practicing on a daily basis. And if we think about this, and if we are a little mindful and aware and conscious, we can certainly speak in a way that our children talk to us, listen to us. Okay. So let's dive straight away into the topic. And the first way for you, for your child to listen to you is that you start listening first. Yes, you heard me right. You have to start listening first. Start listening to what your child is saying with empathy and by putting yourself into their shoes. Just forget for a moment that you are a parent and think as if you are that same teenager person, that teenager child, that bubbly child. Think of yourself in that age and then think, is the child speaking? Is the way I'm handling my child, is that okay? How would have I felt if I was at that age and my parents spoke to me like that? So just put yourself in their shoes and then start listening to them. Okay, let's take an example. Your 13-year-old comes home from school and he straight away enters his room and shuts the door loudly. Okay, and what is your reaction? Typically, we might get angry, or we might scold, or we might interrogate what is it and all of that. But what if you say, you look upset? Do you want to talk? What happened? Because now you are not relating his behavior to misbehavior. You're not thinking that he's doing this misbehavior. Why is he doing that? But you are trying to figure out what is going on in his world, which is making him behave like this. So you start listening to your child and you don't get triggered that, okay, why is he behaving like that? You just try to find what is going wrong. See, because for children, even small things make a lot of difference. For us parents, many of us have learned to ignore small things. Many of us are still learning to, right? But for children, every small thing can cause a big emotional um, issue, because they don't know yet how to handle emotions. If someone says that your hairstyle is not good, or what kind of bag are you carrying, or you don't have those kind of gadgets, or it could be anything, they can feel low about it, right? So adolescence is all about validation, mood swings. So many children would face that. And as parents, we have to give them a chance to speak up, an opportunity to speak up, because they are yet to learn the art of letting go, right? So, how to make them listen to us? After listening to them, when you're giving an opportunity, then he says that, okay, this happened at school and I was angry and all of that. Maybe after that, you can say that, yes, I completely understand and I'm with you. You talk about that incident. And maybe you forget about the shutting the door part. Maybe later on, sometime you could bring up that, just ask him that, do you think shutting the door was the right thing to do? And see what he has to say. You know, don't say what you felt, just ask him. And in all likelihood, the child would say, sorry, mama, it was my mistake. Right? So your objective is really not to make them listen to you. Your objective is mainly to help them go perform the right thing themselves, right? That is our objective. We don't want them to listen to us just for the heck of listening to us, but because we want them to do the right thing, which they can themselves do if they understand, if they start understanding those things, right? So the first point is start listening first for them to be able to listen to us. Now, let's come to the second point. What is the second point? Are you ready for the second point? Type ready in the chat box if you are ready for the second point. Great. So the second thing is we have to shift from control to connection. And what does it really mean from stopping the control? So think about yourself. There must be some person whom you always want to go to for some piece of advice, whom you're very happy opening up about what's going on in your life, and who is going to be a very good talk to you when you want to. It could be your mother, it could be your father, a friend, spouse, it could be a friend, but everyone has someone or the other whom they like speaking to, right? And now just think about what is special about that person. Why do you always go to him or her? Because you are attached to that person. You have a deep connection between the two of you. And you know that when they speak, they are not speaking out of judgment, they are speaking out of love and concern, right? You feel safe talking to this person. You don't think that he is speaking out of authority, but you feel that he is speaking out of genuine concern for you, and he is not imposing his point of view on you, right? So this is something that we have to understand in dealing with our kids. We have to move from control to connect, which means developing rapport with your child. The same kind of rapport that you have with this person to whom you go for advice. And then when he comes to you for advice, for sharing, you have to, it will be like with ease. It will be an autopilot thing. You don't have to think twice, before coming to you. So how does it happen? How do you build rapport with your child? First and foremost thing that we parents typically forget is not taking them for granted and not treating them as teeny mini young kids, till 3, 5, 7, it was fine. Now they're growing up. They are looking for their own identity. Let's start treating them with some respect, not just love, but some respect. Not taking them for granted also means that, not telling negative things about them, which we typically say as a method of, as a habit, like आजकल के बच्चे तो बात सुनते ही नहीं हैं, इनको समझाना कितना मुश्किल हो गया है, हम इतना कुछ करते हैं इनके लिए, एक बार में समझ नहीं सकते, क्या इतना टाइम है क्या हमारे पास, हर छोटी छोटी बात पे इनको समझाने बैठ जाएंगे तो what don't we have other things to do in life? So we basically don't want to invest time in understanding our children, ourselves. So, where it gets difficult, because we want quick results, we want quick action, and we talk from a space of authority. Like, we just want everything quickly, that they should listen at once, because why should we waste time in discussion? We know what is right. Let's go ahead and do it. I know we might be right 90% of times. I'm not disputing that. But the child does not know yet. And when we speak from the space of authority, I'm uh, I'm the mom, I'm the dad, listen to me. Then we are imposing our thoughts on our children. That's when it becomes difficult, for children to really accept that. So just remember that being only logical never helps. Okay? Being only logical does not help. So we don't, what we have to start doing is we have to start investing our time in growing our bond with the children, so that the communication happens naturally and automatically. So look at people around you, friends, relatives. How many people are still attached to their parents after they have moved on in life? Many are not. What has really broken that relationship? It's just one thing, which is the way their parents treated them while they were growing up. They did not have a choice at that point. They had to stay under their parents' guardianship. But once they are earning, once they are married, they can live life on their terms. So the way we treat them today, we will be treated later on. And later on, we'll just think that children are not giving us time, because that time that we have not invested in having a emotional bond. It's okay to do so many things that we do for them. We give everything for them. But what about this emotional bonding, this emotional investment of time with our children? We really have to start working on that, right? And please remember, nothing happens quickly. Nothing happens quickly. And if we remember that we have to slowly and steadily build our communication strongly with children, it will really, really help us in the long run. So, what can we, I'll just give you an example. Like, some of you might have heard about the book Open. It's the autobiography of Andre Agassi. So, Andre Agassi became a world champion in the tennis world because of his father. Not because he chose tennis, but because tennis was chosen for him. And yet, what he carries in his heart is not gratitude, but layers of resentment, fear, and unresolved trauma. His success came at the cost of his emotional peace. So, tonight, before going to bed, reflect on this. What kind of connect you want to have with your child? Okay, so this is your homework for today. What kind of connect do you want to have with your child? In the chat box, reply, reflect if this is what you are going to think before you get to bed tonight. Okay, so I'll share another example. So, for example, parents want to control the screen time of their children, and we have told thousands of times, but it's not working. Now you start connecting with child. How? You start sharing about how was your day. You take them for a walk. You watch a podcast together. It could be something that they relate to. It should be their times, not a podcast that is telling how to study hard, how to get better marks, how to do this, how to do that. No. Come to their level. They love technology. They love driverless cars. They love what is happening in Elon Musk's world. We have to level up our game for this generation of children. How do we level up our game? We have to come to their level to talk to them. That's how you start connecting. We are not just trying to control their screen time, but we are giving them something meaningful to engage with. And that is what I mean from moving from control to connect. So this is the second thing that helps our children start listening to us. And now we come to the third most important point, which makes our children listen to us, which is trust them with responsibility. See, teens crave autonomy. They begin to value the guidance when they feel responsible. So we need to let our control on them go away slowly. And we should be comfortable doing that and start building on their confidence in taking new responsibilities. The other day, I was talking to a cousin of mine, and she said that, like her daughter is just like maybe 7, 8 years old. But when she gets up in the morning, she gives her bath. She does not take bath herself. Why? Because then she will delay the things and she'll be late for school. Like, why are we doing that? Because we just don't want her to get late. So instead of giving her that responsibility, which she can take up because she is now at the age of where she can take bath on her own, we are helping her, because it feels that it will save us some time. It will save us some time now, yes, but the child will never learn to take responsibility. And for how long can you go on doing this? So better way would be to keep 10, 15 minutes extra to let her do these things on her own. So this is the way we start giving them responsibility. And depending on whatever is the age of your child, you can start giving them small, small things which they feel responsible for. It could be their own personal task. It could be something that is related to the household chores. So for example, coming to connecting this with how they start listening to us. For example, a 14-year child wants to spend time on social media, right? Now, if we have given them a phone, of course they are supposed to do that. If we are not giving them phone, it's a different thing. But if they have a phone, there's no chance that children of 14-year-old these days will not do social media. At least 90% children will not. Okay. So giving them the freedom to choose how to manage the homework and social media time, where we are very clear that the outcome is owned by them. They feel trusted. You know, they know that, okay, as long as they are done with their work, as long as they are done with their studies, as long as they are done with other things, if they are doing social media for a little bit of time, parents are not going to intrude. That is what makes them listen to you. But every time when they are on phone and you say, फिर से phone शुरू हो गया, फिर से phone शुरू हो गया, they stop listening when we start lecturing them all the time. So we have to give them the responsibility that, okay, I'm fine with whatever you do, but you just take care of the outcome of your actions. They should know that. And when we talk to them, it is not as a matter of warning or as a matter of consequence that if you don't do this, then this will happen and then you take care. No, it's not like that. They just know that mama is allowing me freedom because she trusts me that I will not go wrong with this. Okay, it's not that we are checking upon them every hour that whether they are playing or whether they are doing social media or whether they are studying. No, we are not checking upon them. We are trusting them that if they are saying that they'll study and they'll do their work, they will do it, right? So they will make mistakes. And you can always ask, do you need help? Are you facing some issues? Can I have my piece of advice for you? You can always ask and offer advice, but don't be after them. Just trust them with responsibility. Make them mistake and they make mistakes and make them come out of them. Make them find out their own way. And not wanting quick results really helps, right? So the three things that really help us are start listening, move from control to connect, and trust them with responsibility. Because knowing is not doing. We have to practice this, and you have to start practicing putting these ideas into practice. So let's close our today's session. I have taken a few minutes extra today, so let's close it with the word practice. I hope we are all going to practice what we have learned today with our children and build a better connect with them. So good night and take care. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow with yet another great parenting insight by Parenting Shastra.